You are looking live at the Section 247 show, a Sports Talk Philly partner, available exclusively here on Facebook, YouTube, Twitch. We're on a group, Michael. We're in Section 247, the group. We are on Section 247 Live, which is a new Facebook stream we have, the mothership, and of course also on Sports Talk Philly. How are you, sir? Is your camera okay? You're good to go.
Camera's good. So I was just checking. That's why my head was down. I am tired, man. I played golf today. It was a beautiful day here in New Jersey in the month of February with no snow. So I played golf today, and I'm tired.
How did you do? Did you do all right? I mean, it's February.
I was happy with what I did. My biggest weakness is my driver. I usually will put my driver away at their second hole and tee off with my 3-iron. I didn't do that today. I actually teed off a lot with my driver and my 3-wood, and I did pretty well. I putted awful, and putting is usually my strong suit.
Yeah, I have the same problem every time I golf, driving, putting, and my short game.
Yeah, I was pulling the ball a lot today. I mean, look, it's the first time I golfed since, early November. So I wasn't expecting to go out there and be Tiger Woods today. But, that's the whole thing. I'm retired from softball. So it's golf. It's golf now. So hopefully I can improve because I was playing really well right before I had my son.
So that's your new thing. You retired from softball and now you're playing. Now you're golfing. Okay.
So any free time that I have, and usually went to softball, now I'll go to golf.
Fair enough. I mean, sure. Hey, why not?
Walk 9 holes today. Why is it coming up just Facebook user? You see that?
Yeah, I don't know.
How about that?
That's interesting. I'm not sure.
Yeah, but 9 holes. You walk 9 holes. I had to walk 9 holes once. And it was not fun. There was no carts. I played at Pittman, and there were no carts, and that was not fun. So walking for me, I mean, look at me. I'm not the poster child for exercise right now.
I did not walk 9 holes of golf, but I did partake in the Philadelphia Auto Show, and that was interesting. It was fun. It was a good time, I guess.
Now you bring your kids to this, though.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, I do. Yeah.
Now, would you bring in? Are they a pain in the ass or?
Yeah, well, I think they're just kids being kids, and it turns into a little bit of a chaotic scene. That kind of, one of those kind of deals.
Now do they want to jump in every car and
every blessed car, every car?
See, I would be like, no way.
Yeah, see, and that's where it gets out of control. Gentlemen, good evening. Hi, hello, Facebook.
Hello, Facebook user.
Hello, Facebook.
For some reason, our names. The names are not coming up for whoever it is right now, which is weird. Yours comes up though.
Yeah, I can't see. We can't see anybody who's posting. We can see what
it was me that said I walked 9 holes. Right. The Facebook user. Thanks for joining.
Yeah, mysterious Facebook.
It's
user.
Will. It's Will.
Okay,
hey Will, how you doing, buddy?
We're gonna do a little bit of a rundown here on the show, Michael.
Let's go.
So we have coming up tonight. I actually don't remember now. We're going to be talking, since it's been a while since we've been here, we're going to be talking a little bit of XFL. See what your take is on the XFL. Now stop it. We're going to get into baseball. Baseball's back. What the Sixers can do to fix this thing at the break. Did you watch the NBA All-Star game and its festivities, and what did you think? The Astros cheating scandal, the road to WrestleMania. Some issues with planes, guys in skinny jeans on treadmills, a variety of stuff like that. Why don't we start with that? You sent that to me. I got to talk about guys in skinny jeans on treadmills. Go for it, man.
Yeah, I was in the gym on Friday, and I was on the treadmill, and I turned over and looked to my left, and there was a kid. I mean, if he was older than 25, that was old. He was wearing a hoodie with a hat backwards and skinny jeans.
Okay.
He was wearing skinny jeans, and yes, we can see your name now, Will. Thanks. And he wasn't running on the treadmill. He was doing like just a very fast walk. Why? What's
Maybe
the point?
Maybe he was in midst of of a break at work and just wanted to come and get it and get a work in, man.
Well, there's that, and then there's also, was he trying to break them in?
Maybe he
Because
was
like
trying to break him in.
they're like, they're tight as shit. So, I know they're uncomfortable. So maybe if you loosen them up by walking a lot, I don't know. I just thought it was weird.
Maybe the key is not to wear skinny jeans when you're working out, or wear skinny jeans at all. I have fat thighs, so I don't have to worry about that problem.
Yeah, I do too. So I think though, if I see this kid again in the gym, I'm going to ask him why he was wearing jeans that one day.
Yeah, I would
be
ask him.
Interesting. I mean, he had a backwards hat, he had a hoodie on, and he had a couple chains on. Like, he looked like he was ready to go out and hit the clubs. Looked like friggin' Ronnie from Jersey Shore.
Nothing wrong with Ronnie from Jersey Shore, baby.
That's what he just looked like.
I'm back in on Jersey Shore.
Is it still on?
Jersey Shore Family Vacation. Of course it's on. It's like a nice.
Oh my God. Family Vacation, you like, because they all have families now and they all travel together?
Yeah, exactly. It's a nice little change of pace, See how they're living now.
Are they still like going out and going to clubs and drinking and stuff though?
Yeah, sort of, but not really.
Do they show the situation paying his taxes?
They do show the situation coming out of jail. So, yeah, well, what do you want me to do?
So yeah, he was wearing skinny jeans. I'm thinking that he was just trying to break them in, or like you said, he had a break and he just wanted to get his workout on.
Yeah, so you're crapping all over the guy, and in reality,
I'm not really crapping on him. I just thought it was weird. I mean, look, I'm old. He was a kid, so God knows. I mean, he could be all hopped up on Mountain Dew, and he's ready to hit the happy hours after that.
Yeah, do the kids still drink Mountain Dew?
I don't know. I never liked Mountain Dew in my life.
No, I wasn't a Mountain Dew guy either. I did partake in a Coca-Cola from Italy, an Italian Coca-Cola. The other night, and that was definitely an interesting experience. It was good. It kind of tasted like a Mexican Coke.
I imagine it would. I would think Coke all tastes the same.
No, it doesn't. Definitely tastes different when you're getting it without sugar. Something came up today that I didn't realize. Did you know that the NHL had a Stadium Series game the other night?
Yeah, just another great NHL really selling their product. This one was a train wreck, though.
Well, what happened? I didn't even know that it occurred. I like those games. Like some of them, I want to see the look. I want to see what it is first before. And this was in Colorado. It was at the Air Force Academy, so it wasn't in Southern California. I wanted to see what everything looked like. I had no idea it was on, no clue. But I heard
because the NHL doesn't market their product right. That's something that the NHL has a problem doing. That's why they don't grow. The scene, the stadium set, had the fighter jet in there. You have the flyover. The problem is only half the stadium saw that. It's a college town, in the Air Force Academy where they had it.
Right.
They didn't, they weren't prepared for, 70,000 people to come all at once. So literally there was traffic jams in hours. It took people. There also too was the big gripe was the parking lots were all mud and ice, and you couldn't see. They weren't lit because you were basically parking in a field, very much like if you went to a high school football game type of atmosphere. So a lot of people didn't make it into the stadium until midway through the first. Afterwards, there were numerous accidents because there was no way for traffic flow to get out. And unfortunately, even somebody died.
Wait, someone died?
Yeah,
I didn't hear this.
Somebody died. Somebody fell off of a bridge or whatever, and they fell onto the train tracks. Now, it's all speculation on what happened, so I'm not even going to, voice how it happened because I don't know myself. But yeah, somebody did pass away from falling down a good distance. So it was just really bad. A bad look for the NHL. I mean, it's bad enough they don't promote these games unless you're in the area. And it's too bad because this could have been something really good. It was at the U.S. Air Force Academy. I said, the rink looked great, the field looked great. Just bad look for the NHL. And there was a couple cadets that they did a test run before that they took some people through on a tour, and they even said that this was going to be a hard thing to pull off because they are not prepared for the amount of people that could show up.
Wow. I mean, that's interesting. It's hey, look, bad job on their part. This is why the NHL is the fourth of the major sports, and maybe is going to be outpaced by Major League Soccer here at some point. Oh, good news!
Right now, UFC actually is growing more than the NHL.
No, the UFC is UFC.
But UFC's been around for a while now, and you would think at some point that their growth would sort of plateau, but no, it's the NHL. Oh yeah, and by the way, Seattle's going to have a team in the NHL next year, so they're trying.
The Kraken, right?
Is it official?
I don't think it's
the Kraken.
It's unofficially official that it's the Kraken.
Yeah, so I mean that should be interesting too. But yeah, the NHL does not market their product right 9 times out of 10. This is one of the ways that they didn't do it right. When the Stadium Series was here last year against Pittsburgh, and then 2 years prior to that in Pittsburgh with the Flyers, it's marketed because they're rivals. They will market that. I mean, you had the LA Kings, who are not very good this year, with the Colorado Avalanche, who are very good this year. So that's a really niche market there. They didn't do a good job. Unfortunately, it was a disaster all around.
Why don't you tell people who are jumping in and watching with us what they're supposed to do through the various forms? Like we have Will interacting with us, and anyone else that's watching, tell them what they're supposed to do.
And so, hi everybody, how you doing? So we like interaction. That's the whole point of why we're doing the live shows now. The only way to talk to us is going on to the Section 247 show on Facebook, follow the link, or go on to the Section 247 show on YouTube or Twitter or Twitch. Follow us there. Send the comments through the show. We appreciate you sharing. We want you to share the link. But if you're writing comments in a shared link, we can't see it. So we apologize with that. But jump into the show. Tell us what you think. Tell us what you want to talk about. And that's what we're here for.
So real quick, rundown. We'll run it down again. Sixers, Flyers, Phillies are back. We're going to talk Eagles. They have a presentation out on Amazon. They don't have an offensive coordinator, not going to have an offensive coordinator. You were right about that. The road to WrestleMania, a bunch of different things. But Michael, I got to start off with this. It's been 2 weeks now, and it's been successful as all can be. And I know you're excited to talk about it. Me, I am a self-proclaimed St. Louis Battlehawks fan. We are talking XFL, baby. This is the XFL again. How excited have you been watching the XFL? And I wanted to put a Vince McMahon thing in here, but I couldn't figure out how to do
it. Did they have a second week yet?
They did have a second week, and they were hugely, hugely successful again with their TV ratings and gameplay over the second.
So define hugely successful. Because the games that I've seen, the stadiums are sometimes a quarter filled.
So they average it. Look, they put 30,000 people in Seattle. That's pretty.
You can't tell me there was 30,000 people there. I watched that game.
It's a 65,000 seat stadium. Of course, it's going to look empty. But yeah, they put 30,000 people in there. They're going to the smaller venues, which is for the most part, which is what they should be doing. This is one of the issues I've seen with the league is when they're in the Meadowlands or they're in St. Louis or they're in Seattle and you're in these 70,000 seat stadiums, you could have 30,000 and it looks empty. It looks like a Temple game.
Yeah. So I've watched both weeks. I mean, I didn't watch full games. I've watched games here and there. I watched the second half of the Seattle game this past week. And then I watched Aaron Murray just blow up week one. It's not that great of a product. It was nice seeing some faces that, you saw in the NFL, like Matt McGloin, and then get benched.
It's true.
That was a good one.
Will chimes in, hey, it's a better sport to bet on than most. And it is true. They have chimed in. They have set up this whole betting thing. But Michael, hold on. We got to pivot real quick here. And we got to get to a very important question. Does Watkins still watch the 80s smash hit Miami Vice?
Oh, yeah.
Every day?
Yeah.
Every day?
Not every day.
Oh, okay.
I had Nico watching it. Nico was dancing to the theme song. I actually have a video of it that I should post that I literally see. He's on his walker watching Sonny Crockett, the best detective there is, as you know, and he's just looking like, he might have been looking at the reception of the TV and not realizing that, it's from 1985. So yeah, I still watch it. Been watching it recently.
We thank Roman for checking in with that one. And you know what? Maybe we'll do that. We'll do we got to do a TV character thing, because you just said he's the best detective of all time. And Elliot Stabler does not agree with you. But back on topic here, the XFL, well, I've enjoyed it. It's not the NFL. It's not meant to be the NFL.
No, absolutely.
But it's been good. It's a little bit different. It's been okay football, and maybe that's just it for me. You say you need a break. To me, it's been okay football. I've enjoyed it. Some of the rule changes are different. I like some of the things that they're doing innovative wise. Will said it here that it's a better sport to bet on, and it is, because they fully embraced the gaming thing. They're putting spreads in there. They're working with the
Yeah, I noticed that. I noticed the spreads in there. I thought that was pretty good, because it was what was it? The DC Defenders.
Yeah,
it was DC in New York, and they had the point spread in there. It was 27-0, so it didn't matter anyway. And that was really the only game that's been really out of whack for the most part for that. I will say that the defensive play is better.
It's going
than the offensive play,
right.
But I think that's because like the offensive talent really isn't up to snuff.
Yeah. And that's going to be the problem here is I saw a bunch of people saying, oh, well, they don't have quarterbacks. Well, listen, if you're,
they do. I mean, they have some really great college quarterbacks that are in this league, if you're talented enough to play Division I football, you should be talented enough to be in the XFL.
I don't know about that, and maybe, but people were bitching and complaining that they didn't have the quarterbacks to make it elite football. If they were elite quarterbacks, they wouldn't be in the XFL. They'd be in the National Football League. So you got to look at things as it comes. It's not the NFL, and you can't compare it to that.
And the funny thing is, you would think that the wide receiver play would actually suffer more on the offensive side of the ball, because if you can't catch in the NFL, you're usually out of a job unless you're Nelson Aguilar. So, but what I have been impressed with as far as the play on the offense is the running back play. They're running the ball a lot, and I think that's because it's more feeling itself out since it's only week 2. But I do like that. The best part is the interviews that they do, during the game. Like McGloin throws interception, and they're right. She's right there on the bench waiting for him. Like, why'd you make that throw for?
But I like that. I like that interaction. I like that immediate the immediacy of it all. I'm interested in how they're doing things with the kickoff. Did you see that?
Yeah, I did see that. That was interesting enough. It's just it's nice to have on in the background. It's on a Saturday, afternoon when there's nothing on TV right now. So it's good to have on. I mean, it might last 2 seasons.
Well, it's going to be at least 3. Vince McMahon has enough money to push it through for 3, and they have the TV deal in place, which is more important than anything else. You got to remember here that it's really a TV product. Yeah, they're not putting in 65,000 people in a stadium, but it's geared more towards television. And they have these deals in place for the next 3 years. And look, they're with Fox, ESPN, ABC. It's legit networks.
They're basically encouraging people not to go to the game and stay home and watch it then.
I don't know that. Yes and no, probably. They're encouraging. I think they're encouraging people to pick up I don't know if there's an app. I think they're tied in with DraftKings. Will has won some money on the Battlehawks, which I don't know. I don't know what that says. I don't know if that's good or bad. Will, I mean, congratulations. But I don't know if you should be betting on XFL football, but hey, more power to you.
Money's money.
Right. Money is money. I think they want people to get to use the phone for enhancing the product.
So you can bet on you use DraftKings while the game is going on, just like an NFL game, I guess.
Yeah. But they're so tied in. I believe Vince McMahon owns percentage of DraftKings, which is
Go
where
figure.
which is where this all comes back, and the league is working with them. Hey, look, it's entertaining. I enjoy the interaction with the officials explaining things. That they were giving the one replay official a hard time because he was using an Xbox controller. I had no problem with that. I had luck.
An Xbox controller for
He was
what?
using on the replay to change the screen on the replay.
Oh man, this is gonna last 3 years, right? Okay.
It's gonna last 3 years. So I'm gonna ask you, and Will has brought it up. Will brought it up here. Philadelphia has apparently applied for a domain license online for the XFL. I saw this today all over the place. I don't know if it's new or old. If it happened recently, it must have. Would you welcome an XFL team to Philadelphia?
Sure. I mean, the Soul were here. The Philadelphia Wings are here. Whatever. Have fun. The Union's here.
Would you go?
No.
You wouldn't go?
Uh-uh.
So, like, our parents, I know my parents were huge Philadelphia Stars fans, and were actually Stars season ticket holders. Same thing, right?
No, it's not. It's not the same thing.
Okay. All right. Are you going to tune in?
The talent is not the same.
That's true. Well, that's true.
You're comparing the USFL to the XFL.
There's a very, very passionate XFL fan base. They are in these groups.
But you need the talent.
Yeah, I'm saying that they're in these groups on Facebook, and they're like, "Oh, this team could take on, the Jersey Generals," and I'm like, "Dude, come on now." I mean, look who you had in that league: Steve Young, Reggie White, Herschel Walker, the Philadelphia team, Sam Mills, coached by Jim Morris Sr. They were killing it. Kelvin Bryant, I think, was the running back.
That's an interesting 30 for 30.
That's one of the best 30 for 30s that's out there.
It's a very interesting 30 for 30. If anybody hasn't watched that, check that out. That's a good one.
So you're not signing up for the Philadelphia, I don't know, Philadelphia what? What would he call
Squad,
it?
Whatever it is.
The extreme. No. Well, going back to the auto show today, I did see, and I've seen this truck around. I think it's down in your neck of the woods. There was an awesome gritty Flyers. I think it was a Dodge Ram done up in orange and black, gritty stuff all over it. That was pretty awesome.
Yeah, it's mine.
Oh, is it? Okay. All right. Yeah. So we're gonna talk about it. Let's pivot here a little bit. Let's go to the Flyers. Are the Flyers making a run at the playoffs here?
Yeah, they're playing good hockey. I mean, we're talking about after they come off a loss against Tampa Bay that they went down 3-0 early, battled back to come within one, and then wound up losing 5-3. But yeah, they're making a run. They're making a run with basically playing with house money right now because they're not really there to do anything this season. I don't think this is the season. If they can get into the playoffs, which they might, the way it's shaping out to be, maybe they can, cause a ruckus. They're playing very good defensive team hockey right now, and that's what you want. Yeah,
I mean, it is what you want. Carter Hart has looked good in his return from injury.
He's been giving up an early sloppy goal, though, in a couple of the games that he's played since he came back from injury, which, that could be rust.
Yeah, he settles back in a little bit, though, and that's okay. Yeah. That's kind of what you're looking for. And I've been impressed with the play of some guys. JVR is one that comes to mind over the past, a couple of weeks. Where
it's about time.
It is about, and that's what I was going to say. Here's a guy who you brought back for a boatload of money when you probably shouldn't have. And next thing you know, here he is. He's making plays.
Well, they brought him back, and he was the second sought after free agent that 2 off seasons ago. John Tavares was the first. You weren't getting him, so you went with the next best thing, which was JVR, and it was a no-brain signing. I mean, signed for a lot of money. Well, that's unfortunate. And and the Flyers won this past offseason when they got the rights to Kevin Hayes and wound up signing him. So those are moves that are. Kevin Hayes has been a pleasant surprise this year. It's great seeing him on the team. It looks like it's a lot of fun to play with alongside him. It looks like he brings the fun out in some of the guys that sometimes need to have a little more fun. And defense is starting to come around too. I mean, we've seen Shane Gostisbehere get hurt, scratched. He's going down in the Phantoms for a conditioning stint soon. He's got to find his game, but Robert Hegg has picked up where he left off, and hopefully they become solid. I would like to see a move at the trade deadline, but I don't think it's going to happen because they're very cap stricken right now.
Right. Yeah. That's the Flyers, right? I mean, they're always going to be very cap stricken.
Yeah, I think this is like the last year that's going to be an issue. And Chuck Fletcher said that he would love to make a move, but he doesn't want to do a rental. I don't blame him because this team is set up for future. They're not set up for right now. I mean, they have an older core, but the younger guys that are coming up can push that, into the future for them. So they don't want to get a rental, and I don't blame them. I don't want to see you get rid of somebody for just playing a half a season. Like you have Taylor Hall in Arizona right now that might not re-sign with them. He's a free agent, but they gave up first round pick for him. So, is it going to be worth it or not? I think he does re-signing there because it is a growing hockey community, but that's the risk you take.
Yeah, I mean, you would pick up the phone.
Yeah.
I would think that you would want to be in Arizona. It's a nice place to play.
A beautiful place to play. The problem there is the ownership. You don't know where you might be playing. I mean, they could pick up and move the team anytime they want to. I mean, I hope not, because Arizona State just built a huge hockey facility because hockey is growing there. So now you just need the NHL team to get ahead of it.
Well, that goes back to what we were talking about earlier, that the NHL does not do a very good job of publicizing their game. They have an outdoor game. Nobody knows about it.
Yeah, everybody just knows about the Winter Classic. Nobody knows that they do 2 other outdoor games and sometimes 3.
Moving on, let's switch real quick to the other winter sport here in Philadelphia, the Philadelphia 76ers. 76ers are on a little bit of a break here. All-Star game. Did you watch any of the NBA All-Star game?
A little bit. I did watch a little bit of it, yeah.
There was huge drama surrounding the dunk contest. Did you see any of that? I haven't watched a dunk contest.
Yeah, they definitely got they got the wrong winner. It should have been Aaron Gordon from Orlando.
What was the issue?
Well, the issue is, first of all, the dunks that they were doing is everybody's just jumping over each other. There's no originality anymore. They tried to be original about it, but at one point, Aaron Gordon brought out the Greek freak. I can't say his name. Giannis, whatever the last name.
Antetokounmpo.
Exactly what you said. God bless you.
Something like that, yeah.
So Aaron Gordon jumped over him, and he should have won right there. He just jumped over a 7-foot tall person, but he didn't win. I mean, I did like the one dunk where they brought out the Billy Hoyle from White Men Can't Jump. That was a good one. He's wearing the Air Commanders around his neck because he already had his sneakers on. I want those sneakers. I wish they came back. They released those a couple years ago, and they didn't have my size, and I ordered them, and I never went back to the store when they came in.
Never went back to the store to actually buy them?
Yeah, they got them in for me, and I just never went back in to get them. I just kept on forgetting to come. I'm so pissed I did that.
So did you watch the 3-point contest? That's not the same anymore, is it?
No, it's not the same anymore. I kind of tuned out. I for that I was flipping back and forth between, I watched Live PD on Friday and Saturday night, so that's what I'm watching anyway. And then I watched the All-Star game. I watched here and there, flipping back and forth with that too. 155 to 153. That's incredible.
I mean, you had to.
30 points in the fourth quarter by Anthony Davis.
I saw that I think that the point total betting line was like 301 or something to that effect.
Yeah, they're always high scoring. I mean, look, there's no defense in those games. It's just, it's to show off, be a little flashy, and that's fun. That's what the people want. It's fun. Joel Embiid traveling, getting slapped in the ass by Ben Simmons.
So they're friendly with each other then. That's what you were saying, is that they were actually were.
Embiid was pissed. I mean, yeah, he just traveled. I could see or charged, whatever he did. I don't know. There's for the weeks now they've been talking. There's jealousy between the two because the one guy wants to be the face of the team and the other guy wants to be a face of the team. I mean, I just rather you both just suck it up and play good basketball and win rather than
make a
fight
run
over who's going to be the face of the team. I mean, come on, me a break.
So Joel Embiid had his. We didn't talk last week. Joel Embiid had his little Instagram spat, the Jimmy Butler thing, the weird comments about being a good asshole. I don't know what the hell that is. Followed up by praising the fans of Philadelphia. Blah blah blah. What can this? Short of firing Brett Brown, because I think we're in agreement that's what needs to happen here. Wow. Can the Sixers be fixed?
I think if they fire Brett Brown, they need somebody that's going to come in there and whip those guys into shape.
So it's nothing. It's nothing now. Nothing this year.
They get a coach in there that says, "Hey, this is your role. This is what you're going to do. This is your role. This is what you're going to do. And if you don't like it, okay, we'll go talk to Elton Brand. We'll see what to do about getting you out of here." I mean, that's all you have to do. Brett Brown is just letting the inmates run the asylum right now.
It's been that way for a couple of years. Yeah, I agree with you. I don't know
how he runs things. He's a player's coach. That's what happens, and that's when things go bad. This is the exact thing that happens with it. I mean, we saw it with the Phillies with Charlie Manuel. He's a player's coach. When it starts to go bad, it's what's going to happen.
Now, we talked about it at length that nothing's going to change here this year. To me, they are still a team that's probably going to get bounced in the second round.
Second round, they might get bounced in the first round. The way they play,
it depends where they get seated.
If they don't get home court advantage in the series, they could get ousted in the first round because they cannot play on the road at all.
It is unbelievably remarkable that they can't play on the road. They are the best team in the NBA at home. And then they just can't do anything on the road. That is
one of the worst. Yeah, that's mind-boggling. Exactly. I don't get that at all. I don't know how when they get on a plane or a bus or a train, they forget how to play basketball. Mm-hmm. I mean, who knows what they're doing? We saw before they played the Heat, they were at the Super Bowl, living it up. Ben Simmons was by the pool that morning with Kendall Jenner. Like, she's a game that night, dude.
She's a problem. Then he stayed. That's even worse.
Stayed. Like there's no structure at a professional level, at the highest level that you can play. There's no structure, and that just can't be.
No, agreed. So that's where we are. That's where we are with the Sixers. Let's move on. You sent me another text about a dude wearing a gas mask on an airplane.
So the whole coronavirus, obviously, cruise ships are being quarantined, but this was early on. I was literally traveling that day, and I read about the next morning. Wore a gas mask onto the plane, and they had to escort him off the plane because he refused to take it off because he was afraid to get the coronavirus.
Like a legit gas mask, not one
legit of the World War II gas mask with one end there and the other end there.
Yeah, I guess you can't do that, right? It's probably not legal.
No, and they had to escort him off the plane, and he didn't get a chance to fly that day. But
how long did that hold the whole process up? Or
it holds the whole process up because if you have a guy that's unwilling to leave a plane or do anything that involves problems on a plane is going to be time consuming.
Absolutely.
That's the thing that people, now the biggest thing is the one guy, the reclining the seats, how you should be asking permission to recline the seats. Do you recline a seat when you go on a plane? I don't.
Not on purpose.
I should.
Yeah, I did it once and I felt awful because I slammed into the person behind me and I told them I was sorry the whole flight. They wanted to punch me in the back of the head just to zip it.
Punch in the back of the head, just like what happened to the lady on American Airlines.
I have no idea what you're talking about, but yeah.
So the newest thing after the coronavirus thing is a woman was on American Airlines flight this past weekend or week or whatever, and she reclined her seat and the guy behind her punched her the whole time.
Oh, beautiful.
In the back of the head
seat,
part, the headrest of the seat.
Love it.
To the point where she has gone to the doctors because now she's experiencing migraines. Right. American Airlines told the lady she was in the wrong for complaining.
Good.
And since then, the Delta CEO has come out and says you should be asking permission to recline a seat to the person behind you. I don't recline my seat. I'm 6'1", 6'2". I don't recline my seat. I get in the seat. I sit there until the flight's done. I might lean all over the place, so I don't have to recline the seat, because I know if I recline it back, I wouldn't want the person in front of me doing it, so I don't do it.
Will says it's as bad as reclining seats on a tour bus. I haven't been on a tour bus recently, but I guess I get what you're saying. It's the same idea. Like there's no room for it, and it's the same thing. Like keep your shoes on when you're on the plane. Like no one wants to smell that stuff.
God, man, it's just, just traveling sucks. It sucks. Like, it's awful. The only good part is you get buckled in the airport before you get on, and then try to sleep, which that never works. It's just bad.
It is bad. It's almost as bad as people screaming during the national anthem. O's comes to mind for me. That's another thing you were all pissy about this week is people yelling their team names during the national anthem. What crawled up your ass?
I just think it's disrespectful to the country you're in.
I agree with you.
You want to say home of the Chiefs? That's not the words. It's not the words. If you want a fight song, make your own. So I don't agree with it. And it's more prevalent in the NHL because you have, with the Dallas Stars, they say Stars, and the Blues are the home of the Blues. Chicago, they cheer the anthem. They just clap and cheer the whole time the anthem has been playing. They've been doing that for years. I don't like that either. There's a reason why you stand, you remove your hat, and you're silent. Hear the song. When it's done, you start.
Fair enough. I agree with you. You done? Pointing at the
cloud? That just got the All-Star game got on my nerves with that one.
Will's wife is an O's fan and he hates that they do that. I agree. We're going to jump back here to the traveling. Sean chimes in. He traveled with his 6-month-old a week ago. It was actually amazing, but the guy in front of him, oh no. See, like that's awful. Now, Sean, so
you say something in that case.
Yeah, that's where you got to kick a chair. Did they do it on purpose though? Because you had a kid. Until you have a kid, it's almost like here's someone with a kid. But I get it. I would have had the baby sitting there tapping on the guy's head.
Let me ask you this one. Let's say, because you have kids, Sean, you might answer this one. Your seats sometimes are not all together. What happens? You're sitting on a flight, window, middle, or aisle, whatever, and next to you is a mother or a father, whatever, and a kid. And the father comes up, or whoever comes up to you and says, "Can you switch? I would like to sit with my family." Do you do that?
Yeah, sure. And I actually had a guy do that today for me on the train. We took the train over to Philly, and we were going to sit, my son and I were going to sit on opposite sides of the aisle. And the guy's like, dude, I'll just switch out. I didn't even say anything. I wasn't even going to ask him. I'm like, cool, man.
Right.
Thanks.
Right.
Yeah, absolutely. Why wouldn't you?
I have been on the plane where multiple people say no.
What does it matter?
Why? Who cares?
Unless I'm getting put into the middle, I might consider it different at that point.
But see, here's the thing. A lot of times if the flight attendants see that you're doing that, they will try to accommodate you better.
Right.
If it is a middle seat, they will try to move things around for you. But how do you not? I literally was witness to it happening 2 times. A guy was wanting to sit next to his wife and his son. His son was probably like 2 years old. And 2 people said no.
Yeah, I'd move. There's no reason not to move.
And the thing is, like, anybody's probably saying, well, if you witnessed that, why didn't you say something? I was so far ahead of them that it wouldn't have made a difference.
I was in first class, and I wasn't going to get out of the way for them. Screw those coach people.
I already had my cocktail, and I wasn't moving.
I had my towel on my neck and my face. I was watching Miami Vice. I wasn't going anywhere.
I did watch Miami Vice on the way to Detroit a couple weeks ago.
I flew to Houston not too long ago, and I watched Godzilla twice on the way in and on the way out. I did not pick up my Cheaters shirt, though, while I was there, Michael. We were going to talk some baseball. Phillies reported today, first workout. But that's not the story here. The story is that this Astros thing is still out
not
of
going away.
Control.
Yeah, it's just boiling now because now the players are starting to come in. You know, the baseball is. Don't you think baseball is a type of sport where, it's the off season. It is the off season. Like that players don't really get involved or anything like that. Where, now that spring training is starting up, players are starting to have an opinion. Most of them are Dodgers.
A lot of them are Dodgers, but look, Mike Trout came out today and he was very critical of everything. There's old timers that are advocating, and maybe rightfully so, that guys are going to get thrown at throughout the course of the season. And look,
over under 183 plunkings
but this is on baseball for not taking care of the situation. And then they had this goofy press conference thing where the Astros didn't apologize for cheating. They may or may not have cheated. We didn't cheat. It didn't change the game, blah, blah, blah. I mean, baseball needed to step in here and kind of put the hammer down, and they've done nothing, but they haven't done that.
The biggest one was Correa saying that Altuve didn't want his jersey ripped off because he's an unfinished tattoo.
Yeah.
And then another one said that his wife would get mad if somebody ripped his jersey. Are you that stupid? I gave you your reason to say a month ago when this all finalized. You say it was a memorable home run. You didn't want the jersey damaged because you wanted to keep it as a souvenir for yourself for the life to come. You dumbass. No, you have an unfinished tattoo. Give me a break.
What's going to happen here?
Nothing
going to go away.
This is done. This is done. Now it's going to be the players policing it, and it's just going to get ugly. The commissioner of baseball is a joke. I don't know how he's still that commissioner.
No, I don't know how he's the commissioner either. He's probably one of the worst.
And he just keeps on digging himself a hole with the comments he makes for it too.
Yep. It's going to be interesting. It's going to be interesting to see what happens. I would actually like to see teams go all of spring training without doing anything, and then turn around as soon as the season starts, just start throwing darts at guys' hips.
I mean, that's what's probably going to be. You're going to see a lot of beam balls in the backs and legs. But what I don't understand is you fired the general manager, you fired the manager. Why has nothing been done to the players? They were the ones that executed this and kept it going forever.
Yeah, it's a great question. I have no idea how the players have gotten away with nothing here. It is interesting to say.
Is it because it's basically the whole team?
Probably.
Well, then you know what you do? You stagger the suspensions.
Screw it, man. You suspend them. You do what you got to do. This is the integrity of the game here at this point.
And they had a prospect get popped for 162 games for a PED today.
Quality.
They're not looking good, man.
Quality organization down there in Houston. Let's talk about the home team here. The Phillies pitchers and catchers reported last week. Today was the first full squad. Are you excited for Phillies baseball?
Yeah, I am.
You seem it.
I know. I'm tired, man. I'm so sore today from golf. Jeez, just hit me right now. I forgot Zach Wheeler signed here.
I did too. I did too.
I forgot Zach Wheeler signed here. Now, I watched about a minute and a half of Bryce Harper taking batting practice today, and it sounded beautiful. He looked beautiful. I'm ready to go. He might be the only one in the lineup that can hit the ball. He probably might need to pitch too eventually, but we'll see what happens. Scott Kingery looks like the Incredible Hulk.
He does. He looks like Chase Utley. When Chase Utley would show up all jacked up, and then halfway through the season, he'd have to, get his hip replaced. So let's hope that's not the case.
Steroids are a powerful drug, my friend.
Yeah, don't say that about Chase. That's not nice. Why would you even do that? What the hell is wrong with you?
The evidence is there, my friend.
There is no evidence. That is outrageous that you would make such an accusation. I can't believe that. Keep drinking.
You just
water.
said it. Hip. What's next?
I have a hip and a knee injury, but I'm not juicing.
Well, you're just old and decrepit.
That is true. I'm excited for Phillies baseball. We're going to have the guys on a little bit later here as we creep towards the end of March for the actual start of the season. Frank and the guys from Sports Talk Philly. But look, over unders, I've seen everything from like 83 to 87 wins. I have to think that they're probably a good 6-7 wins better with Joe Girardi in there versus what we had what they had a year ago.
Yeah, I mean, you only hope. I mean, today they actually had a first, their squad where they took infield, and the infield combination sounded pretty good. I mean, they had Segura at second, Didi at short with Kingery at third. I think that's a really solid infield right there.
As long as they can keep Kingery at third and let him play third and not mess around, I'm all for that.
So for Kingery this year, this is his position to win. I mean, there's no Franco there anymore. So it's do or die now for him. He's got his chance to shine.
Yeah, but the problem here is that he's not a traditional third baseman.
No, and baseball's not a traditional game anymore.
What the hell does that mean?
It's not the same game that we grew up with.
Oh,
we grew up with bunts,
yeah.
stolen bases.
Oh, I know.
Now it's analytics. So no, he's not your typical third baseman, because with Moneyball now, he's supposed to he's there to make a play in the fifth inning.
I don't even.
Just say I'm right and move on. It's okay.
Right. Sure. You're right.
No, but this year is a good prove it year for Kingery. And it looks like he took the offseason seriously.
I agree.
Coming in looking like the Incredible Hulk's son.
Perfect. I don't know if there is one. My kid would know. I'm not into the comic book thing. Well, look, we're going to talk more Phillies baseball in the weeks and months to come, and hopefully we're talking that straight into Red October. I don't know. Let's talk about something coming up here, though, and the road to WrestleMania, Michael, is getting a little bumpy, and I'm not very happy about it. I don't know if you saw this in between now and Mania. There's this Super Showdown in Saudi Arabia, which is always interesting, and there's Elimination Chamber in Philadelphia, actually, and the Super Showdown in Saudi Arabia, Bill Goldberg versus Bray Wyatt for the WWE Championship. Well, I think it's just WWE. I don't think he's Universal. I don't remember. Why?
Exactly. You asked the question why? Because the Saudis won it.
That's true.
And the Saudis are dishing out the checks. So you got to do what they want. And they're not dumb. They want a pay-per-view and on the road to WrestleMania. Why not? Elimination Chamber in Philadelphia. First time the Elimination Chamber has ever been there. Which is kind of interesting.
Who cares? AEW is coming in March. I'd rather go to that.
Will it throw a yawn? Yeah. I mean, it's a show that's going to be on a Friday at 11 o'clock anyway, so who cares?
I have this sneaking suspicion, and I hope that I'm wrong, that Bill Goldberg could be walking into WrestleMania with a championship belt around his waist.
Didn't he retire like years ago?
Yeah, but the Saudis are paying him, like you said. So here he comes, to be fed to Roman Reigns or somebody like that.
I mean, after Goldberg's last performance, that was putrid. They have to. I hope he comes in shape. I mean, he's an old guy. Yeah. He's in his 50s. You want him to suplex Brock Lesnar. I mean, come on.
And look, he wasn't the most adept in the ring back in the day. So you take him out of the ring for 15 years and you put him in. Look, I just, maybe I'm just too much of a wrestling traditionalist when it comes to this kind of stuff. And by the way, happy President's Day. Who was your favorite WWF president? Mine, Gorilla Monsoon. I know some people out in the audience, they're going to say Jack Tunney. They're wrong.
Who's going to say Jack Tunney?
People will say Jack Tunney. Will.
Yeah, it's Gorilla Monsoon for me.
Will. And the problem with Jack Tunney is he's Canadian.
Okay. Whatever you say.
Okay.
You're right. We're going to move on.
The road to WrestleMania, it's getting a little bit bumpy, and maybe I'm just a traditionalist, and I hope to see that. I wish it would just stay the way that it stayed for the past 20 years, but it's not going to.
No, I mean, the WWE is made up of now it's become a reality show, and it has its seasons, and it's got its storylines that they have to do in those seasons. It's become very predictable.
Yeah, that's a good way to put it, I guess. I didn't think about it that way, but you're probably right. It's become a reality show of itself.
Mm-hmm.
Well, let's move on here, Michael. Finish up here. The Eagles have not hired an offensive coordinator. They are going with a conglomeration of a bunch of people, and you were right. You were right. I was wrong.
Yeah, nobody wanted the job. Why would you want a job where you can't even show your own work? That you're gonna do somebody else's job for them. You know, it was an empty space. It was an empty job title. And this is why nobody wanted it. And now we're not going to have an offensive coordinator, which is a sorry, wrong move. And on top of that, who's actually responsible for picking the personnel that goes on this team?
Well, I would assume that it's Howie Roseman that is picking.
You assume.
I would assume.
You
I
assume,
don't know for sure.
but you don't know. Just like you don't really know who the offensive coordinator is. It could be Doug Peterson. It could be Press Taylor. It could be Deuce Staley.
It's definitely not Deuce Staley. I'll tell you that much. Deuce Staley. The rumor was that Deuce Staley decided to look at jobs elsewhere. South Carolina was the one that came up frequently, and can't really blame him, to be quite honest with you.
I think he would do really good as a college football head coach.
I think he would be a fantastic college football guy. And I don't know why he's not. I don't know why he's still here. Maybe he's too loyal.
I think you hit the nail on the head there. He's too loyal, and he loves this organization. He's lived and died being an Eagle. Won a Super Bowl here as a coach. Thought he can grow here. He's not growing here. That's the bad thing about it.
Yeah, that's the problem. As right now, he is kind of being held back from being that what he could be.
Yeah, I hope he becomes a college football head coach, because I think the way he has taken the young talent, the young running back core over the past, I'd say, 5 years maybe, with the running backs that have come in here, along with Darren Sproles as the veteran guy. He's done a fantastic job. I mean, Miles Sanders had a really rough first half. He had a great second half.
He did. He did.
He took Boston Scott and made him into a player. I mean, Boston Scott is a talented player as it is, but Deuce Staley elevated the level. So I hope he catches on as a head football coach, either in a Division I or in the NFL. He deserves to be there.
I'm not going to go as far as to say that Doug Peterson's job is on the line here, but ultimately with this move of not hiring a traditional OC, there's no one else to blame here now other than Doug Peterson.
There's no more fall guy.
Does this put Doug on the hot seat?
Absolutely. Doug was on the hot seat last year. The worst thing that could have happened was this team won the division. And this team wasn't exposed with all the holes that it has. By the way, Mike Rowe is now with Frank Reich.
He is with Frank Reich, which is going to be an interesting.
So let's see what happens. I mean, the Colts need a quarterback. They get a decent quarterback because they started out pretty good this year. Then if they're successful with those two guys, hey, Doug, what's your problem?
Yeah, I mean, look, it's his own doing here, right? This is Doug's own doing at this point by making this move. And who knows if it's a power move on his part. It doesn't seem like it is. He doesn't seem like that kind of guy, but the organization has squarely put him into this position that it's kind of a do or die thing for him right now.
Yeah. I mean, if he is a power move guy, then he has a great poker face. I just think nobody wanted this job.
Yeah, I think you might be right. I don't think anyone wanted the job as currently dictated, without the play call.
Yeah, with the stipulations that the job comes with for being an offensive coordinator for the Philadelphia Eagles. Nobody wanted it.
No, I agree with you. And it's going to be interesting now seeing what happens moving forward. NFL free agency is coming up. Because what do you want to see the Eagles do?
I want to see defense and offensive line, both the draft and free agency.
So it's interesting. It's interesting you say that because people live everywhere doing the mock drafts and they want wide receivers. And I get that. And I get that. But you have to build a team from the trenches up. And I agree with you. I think there's got to be a little bit of a focus on rebuilding the lines. You got guys that are not getting any younger. I would like to see them address the cornerback situation in free agency. I think there's a couple guys, a local guy who I really like, Logan Ryan, who I think could be a nice player for this squad. It helps that he was a Rutgers Scarlet Knight and whatnot. But Are you anticipating anything happening big? Are they going to
No.
make a splash?
I don't think so. I think they just need to make the right moves. They don't need to make a splash move. Quarterback wise, going back to that, one of the rumors is Marcus Mariota as a backup.
That's fine. That's fine because that's what he is in this league now. That's okay.
Yeah, I
That's
mean,
fine.
that's a pretty solid backup that
Yeah.
could, I think it would be so funny if he does wind up signing here, and that was Chip Kelly's guy.
Hey, look, Chip was wrong again. I was talking about this with someone. Clearly, Chip was wrong with Mariota. He became a mediocre quarterback. Look, Tannehill's going to get paid in Tennessee. He's going to get paid big time.
I don't know if he stays in Tennessee.
Well, the real story is who's going to pay Tom Brady? Is he stay in New England, or does he go to Las Vegas?
The rumor is Oakland, 2 years, $60 million.
Vegas. Don't insult the Oakland fan base.
They're right. They are officially the Las Vegas Raiders. They are officially the Las Vegas Raiders. Are they the Vegas Raiders or the Las Vegas Raiders?
I think they're
the Vegas Golden Knights.
I think they are the Las Vegas Raiders.
Okay.
Cowboys fans want Tom Brady. I would actually take that in a heartbeat as an Eagles fan. Go there at 42 years old. That's fine. You'll be the quarterback for 2 more years and you move on.
Well, they're going to franchise Dak.
Whatever.
They're going to franchise Dak, but he's still going to get less than the $40 million he wanted.
Yeah.
He's going to probably get like 32, 35 million.
Good. Screw them. Where do you see Phillip Rivers going?
I see Phillip Rivers going to the Cowboys.
No,
I think he goes to the Cowboys or the Colts.
I could see him going to the Colts. That is definitely
Frank Wright. From in San Diego.
That is true. That is a scenario I could see. We're going to have Paul Bowman coming on when he can freeze up. But in the meantime, he's going to be sending us weekly kind of free agency combine primers. Him and I have been talking about that to discuss on a weekly basis. Combine is coming up in about 10 days. I look forward to that. I'm always very excited. Did you watch the Amazon Prime All or Nothing? It's on Amazon, right? It's not Netflix.
Yeah. No, I didn't watch it. I found out because it was like 11 o'clock at night. I couldn't sleep, and I was like looking for something to watch to fall asleep to. And like that's the type of thing I want to start and be able to finish it. I never even knew that they did this. Like there was no promotion. There was no Eagles PR about it. Like I would have had that they plaster everything else on every social media site there is. I didn't see any of this.
I kind of remember hearing about it, and then it was an NFL Films thing, and it just sort of went away.
Yeah, it's weird.
I haven't watched it yet either. People rave about it. If it's NFL Films, it's going to be great, but it's something I'll probably check out over the next couple of weeks. Binge watch it. I'm watching Friday Night Lights right now, so
the show or the movie.
The show. I'm back to the show. I do it once a year. I kind of go back and watch the show.
I do that with The Wire, Sopranos, and Entourage. I watch them.
I keep saying it. I got to get back on the Sopranos thing because I forget what happened from 20 years ago. And with the new movie coming out at some point, I'm going to have to start watching that again.
Yeah. Going back to the free agency with the Eagles, who do you want to see? Like, who are you looking like? What position players? Because I know you said the quarterback, whatever, but
I want to see them focus on the secondary. I think there's enough guys out there that you can spend solid money, and you're going to get a now guy. You're not going to invest in the draft on the secondary for a guy in the secondary, maybe a receiver. I don't know. You got to see what they do with Alshon Jeffrey. It's not my money, so what's it matter? But spending that kind of money on a free agent wide receiver, I don't know how smart that is at this juncture. Maybe I'm completely wrong, but I want to see them work on the secondary and maybe a linebacker, shore up that defense a little bit. And that, because once you get that figured out, then you can fill in the draft.
Jalen Mills threw out a cryptic tweet a couple weeks ago.
I think he's gone.
I think so too.
Yeah, I think he's gone.
Our friend Ryan Rothstein said, "What does this mean?" And I sent back a meme with a kid going in the sliding board waving.
Yeah, exactly. But it's going to be interesting. This is one of the most fun times in the NFL calendar when all this stuff starts heating up. So that's coming up on the show. We're going to follow it. We're going to finish up here, Michael, with a Today I Learned. Did you learn anything today? Anything over the past couple of days? Anything?
I learned that I need to stand. When I'm ready to swing my golf club, that if I feel like something isn't right, that I should just stop and readjust and not go through with it.
Sure. I feel that way all the time. Today I learned, and this is over the past couple of days actually, that there is going to be a new Masters of the Universe cartoon. Kevin Smith, Jay and Silent Bob Kevin Smith on Netflix.
Nice.
Yes, Revelation. It's going to pick up where the old show, the original show from the 80s left off. It's going to tie up some loose ends. There's going to be a new toy line coming out associated with it. I am extremely excited for this.
Nice.
There is Reddit subforums and Facebook groups related to this and YouTube things. It's awesome. I am excited. I'm excited to see where this goes.
True story. I have the He-Man Dolph Lundgren DVD.
Oh,
and I watch every once in a while. That movie's actually on Netflix right now.
That movie sucks.
Oh, it's awful. Now they just need to redo Thundercats.
So Thundercats is actually out on Netflix as well.
Yes.
It's a new one. Like, it's new.
Oh, it's a new one.
It's new. It's brand new. I think they have the old ones too, but it's brand new.
I've seen the old ones.
With all the 80s, everything 80s coming back, Stranger Things, all that stuff. I forget the name of the group, and I have to look it up, has bought the rights to all the old franchises and has been remaking the shows. So the Thundercats you do see on Netflix is the new one.
Oh, okay. I'll have to check that out.
Yeah, it's new, yeah.
So I know they brought back Voltron.
Yeah,
Netflix did Voltron.
Yep,
the
same
new
thing.
one. I didn't watch that. I had to explain to my wife what Thundercats was.
Thundercats is awesome. Hopefully they bring back Mask.
Oh, Lionel. Oh, Mask. That was
good.
Awesome.
Mask was a good one. But on that note, Michael, we're gonna wrap it up for the week. We've got to give a shout out to our sponsors, Michael's Glass Company, serving Philadelphia since 1978. 215-338-3293. I talked with Bonnie, and she has seen a large increase in the number of sneeze guards that the company has been receiving.
And I haven't seen an increase in a check.
Yeah, no, and I am attributing that solely to us. So,
Bonnie is a celebrity now, man.
Bonnie is a celebrity. She was on the news.
What did Bonnie say about Joel Embiid last night at dinner?
Oh, yeah. So family dinner conversation. Joel Embiid is lazy and he's a part-time worker. I was like, okay, I
love it.
Okay. So you say. We're part of Sports Talk Philly, sportstalkphilly.com, on Twitter, Sports Talk PHL. Show is on all social media. Just search at SEC247 Show. Where can people find you?
Michael Watkins 7 on Twitter, and for Instagram, Michael_Watkins_7. That is way too long. Will, that last comment was comment night there.
What last comment? I missed this. Hold on a second.
Sort of omens. Give me sight beyond sight. Ho!
We'll catch you next week.
Oh, I know.